talking about the story on ESPN.com that gives the Detroit Lions a C grade for the offseason, and it's mostly based on the contract that was given to Jared Goff. And Goff is, we all know about the extension. This guy's not a Goff fan. Now, he said in the story, Goff is not a top 10 quarterback in the NFL. So numbers would tell you he is a top 10 quarterback in the NFL. That doesn't mean he's a top 10 quarterback in the NFL just because his numbers say that. I went just for the exercise, Pete Prisco's list of top 100 players in the NFL, which is one writers. I decided to go through and just count the quarterbacks and see where Goff ranked. He ranked 12th. He was the 12th quarterback mentioned on the list, which again, I go back to our guy who has a lot of the characteristics of a top 10 quarterback, just doesn't seem to get the benefit of the doubt. Do I particularly care about this? No, I don't care that he's not considered a top 10 quarterback by some.
I think it gives him more motivation.
I think it probably does. That's one. Two is it has little relevance into what they're trying to get done, which is win games on Sundays with this personnel. But part of the reasoning offered up in this story about why Goff isn't worth it is because he thinks they're going to lose Ben Johnson. And he clearly likes Ben Johnson as an OC more than he likes Goff as a quarterback. And I'm looking at this and I'm going, well, in Cincinnati, Burrow lost his OC. Philly changed OCs and with Jalen Hurts.
Right. It's probably going to be an upgrade there.
Probably, you think, but you don't never know. You never know. And, I just find it very interesting that this is offered up as a reason. Goff's contract is a reason why this was a bad offseason for the Lions. 5 teams are worse than the Lions. Atlanta got a C-, Vikings got a C-, Cowboys got a D+, Raiders got a D, Saints got a D. 248-539-9797. Let's get back to your phone calls. We go to Justin in Madison Heights. Hi, Justin.
Hey, fellas. Good to talk to you again. I was going to weigh in on the whole Goff thing. Like, I have 2 personalities or 2 emotions about this. There's the initial reaction. I get genuinely upset with all the Goff hate, whether it comes from local callers or local fans, and even the national media, because, Doug, I think you nailed it when you said if you take the name and face away and you just look at his numbers, they're outstanding. Like, nobody would not want that quarterback on their team based on the numbers. But for whatever reason, he gets all this doubt and
It's weird, isn't it?
And then the rest, it is so weird. It's unbelievable. Like, he seems like the nicest guy. Like, why wouldn't you want this guy on your football team? So then...
The niceness of him is irrelevant, especially through an analytics guy, which makes your argument analytically and statistically. This guy should love him the way he's played the last few years.
Stoney, I agree with you, the niceness, but it's like there's like no slams against Jared Goff. Like, his numbers are excellent. He's a great locker room guy. Like, where does the hate come from? I want someone to explain that to me.
I think there's the things that are working against him is he's not mobile. You can't slam him for his mobility. He's never going to be. And that's just a fact. 2 is there's a lot of respect in this league for Sean McVay. And I think people think if McVay pulled a plug and then, oh, by the way, the guy he went and got immediately won a Super Bowl, it backs up McVay that Goff was the problem. And maybe that resonates, even though I don't see there's any relativity to what Goff is now. It might be something that works against him in the eyes of the public.
I hear you. I think it's more the former because people want the flashy, shiny thing. People love Lamar Jackson, and I'm one of those people. But what do his numbers show you? I mean, yeah, he's won a couple MVPs, but, like, the dude can't get it done, yet people tout, Lamar Jackson is the best quarterback because he can throw the ball deep. And he's a video game when it comes to running.
Well, that's the thing. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Stoney.
Well, that's the thing I said earlier with Goff, the mobility that Doug said, and he doesn't throw bombs.
Yeah,
it's not flashy.
You're right. You're spot on. And then my rational side kicks in, and I say, you know what? I don't care. Let him hate. When the dude keeps performing at this level, when he keeps, doing what he's doing, winning playoff games. If he wins us a Super Bowl, everybody that's hating on him, they can just shove it.
So
they can take it and shove it, and I won't care.
You're right. It doesn't have any relevance to reality and what's happening on the field on Sundays, except it might. Okay? Do you remember we had Goff on during the year? And I said to him, do you ever listen to, like, critics and what they say? And he goes, no. What do you got? He asked us what it was.
Right.
And I said, well, Skip Bayless. And he said, stop right there.
Yeah.
And it was funny, but I also think it was insightful. Goff asked for what the criticism was.
Right.
He wanted to know. He could have
let it was coming from.
Yeah, he could have let it go, right? He could have just said, nah, people have jobs to do. I'm not worried about it. He could have given the standard vanilla answer. His answer was, no, but what do you got? He wanted to hear it. Now, when he heard where it was coming from, he cut us off, and it was that moment actually went viral.
Right.
But I thought it was also a bit insightful into what makes our guy tick here a little bit. Like and it's one of the things that not everybody, I think everybody tries to cultivate a chip on the shoulder. Everybody tries. There's very few that can really manifest that into being better on Sundays, and I think Goff is one of them.
He's admitted that there was a chip on his shoulder when the Rams, kind of put him out the pasture and said, "Hey, you go die in Detroit. Your career is over." Remember that was it an Amazon game where he had a great game, went onto the set to talk to the guys after, and he got word that someone called him like a poor man's Joe Flacco or something. And he immediately said, well, I don't know if I'm a poor man's anybody, right? And so he hears, he knows, he's found a way to use it towards his advantage. And I think that he's just not exciting, but he does all the right things. And I think people don't give him enough respect because he doesn't run, he doesn't throw the ball deep.
Right, and he's the only one that basically is getting any sort of hate, and if you want to call it hate, because most of it is now, after what he did last year, most of it is favorable. And the team as a whole nationally, let's not get just stuck on this one guy, because the Lions are getting tons of love nationally. People love the Lions.
I'm doing this. We are doing this topic as if we really care, which we don't. It's interesting to hear other opinions.
Yes.
It's interesting to argue why this doesn't bother me, but it actually, in reality, may help because of Goff and what makes him tick. It may help that somebody's saying, hey, he wasn't worth it.